Hey everybody, get back for How to Get Away with Murder. This is Season 3, Episode 1. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yeah, let the buzz be in.
Oh,
we
yeah.
are so back right now. Like, great episode.
Who is it?
Who is it? Who is in that gurney? Welcome back, guys. This is the How to Get Away with Murder After Show, Season 3, Episode 1. I'm your host, JB Zimmerman. You can follow me at Hey John Blake. We've got a semi-new panel here beside me.
Yeah.
April, where can the people find you?
First of all, I'm so excited to be on this panel because I love
Yes,
this
welcome,
show so
welcome.
much. Thanks for having me. Y'all can find me everywhere at April Whisenhant. And I have the live link up right now, so chat with me, let me know what you thought. And we'll shout you
Definitely.
out.
What's up, guys? My name's Omari. You can find me at OnWithOmari on Twitter and IG. And please tweet us out during the show. We're live tweeting, so we want to hear what you guys have to say. It was an amazing episode.
Yes,
Yeah.
very good.
So good.
Sterling Cates is also on the show. She's not here tonight, but she will be back next week. Unfortunately, Jillian Leff is not, but she's going to be live tweeting because we know you're still watching, Jillian. But yeah, let's get right into the
into it.
episode. Crazy stuff, as always.
Crazy. Some random thrown in there as
Right.
well, though.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
The breakup
this
scene.
show is very all over the place.
Yeah.
In a good way. I mean,
a
that
good
in the
way,
best sense of the
They
words.
jump around a lot of time hopping.
Yeah, a lot of time hops. I mean,
You
there's
gotta, keep up.
Exactly. With the ensemble cast, it kind of moves around. There's a lot of different dynamics,
Mm-hmm.
shall we say, which is good. I mean, it keeps it fresh. We're, in season 3, and I feel like I have no idea, like, where the show could
Right.
go. It
Yeah.
always never ceases to amaze.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, when the kids graduate, what they're going to do. Like, bring in a new set of kids. It'll be like Saved by the Bell, new class type
Yeah,
deal,
seriously.
Or are they just going to, like, follow them?
I have
so,
no
it's interesting.
idea.
We'll see.
I mean, I'm very married to the Keating Five, as
Yeah.
they are right now. So
Don't go.
hopefully, yeah, we can...
I mean, look, by the looks of it, they might not graduate.
yeah,
They're, like, in the
see,
bottom
things are not
10%.
looking good.
Yeah.
They gotta hit the books a little bit more.
Right?
A little
sure.
less powwowing.
Yeah.
and having
Well, I
sex
mean,
with
when you
each
murder
other.
A
people.
little less murder.
Right, a little
Yeah.
less murder,
Maybe.
a little more
Then make
study.
a study.
Maybe balance it out a little bit.
That would throw
themselves.
people, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I mean, they are back in school. It's sort of a new case. This is actually, even though it's season 3, it's only year 2 for them. Seasons 1 and 2 were both the same year. It's a very long, very
right.
arduous law school
Yeah.
initiation. But now we are like officially in year 2 for them, and they've got a new case. Hopefully, I mean, it was kind of a theme in season 1 to have a new case like every episode.
Right.
In season 2, they kind of took a back seat, and it looks like we're back with that sort of format.
Yeah.
Which is nice. It kind of keeps things moving along at a pace, as well as the whole season arc.
I think that helps to keep the show interesting. We have different cases, different characters to connect to. They bring in, like, who was it? Caleb, and what was the other chick's name? His sister from last year.
Oh, I can't remember what her name was. And I just
Ooh,
watched
yeah.
this yesterday.
Yeah, just-
Literally last night I
April.
rewatched the
Yeah,
finale
the
of
point that
season
they
2.
bring in the new cases, I think, just helps keep your interest level.
Right,
Something
right.
new every week sometimes. So.
Again, I mean, yeah, I like that a lot because when that's missing, they kind of make up for it by having, like, all the characters get, like, crazy with each other. I mean,
Character development.
we flirted with that a little bit last year when people started, like, making weird hookups. So we'll see how far they take up. But, I
Still-
like when they bring in new people. I mean, there's a lot of good
Fresh blood.
cameos coming up this season.
Yeah.
One we had tonight, Lieutenant LaGuardia from Dexter.
But I flipped out when I saw that because I didn't know
best.
she was
Yeah.
going to be on there
Yeah.
tonight. I'm like, my girl Maria, she's here.
Yeah,
Wait,
throwback.
who was that?
Love that. Love that. She was the president of the school that
okay.
wants to
I didn't see
basically
Dexter,
kick
okay.
out the K5.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, she plays a good villain.
Catherine
so.
was her name. Someone in chat just said that.
Oh.
I thought that. I'm
okay.
like, Catherine?
She was,
Anyway,
she
Caleb.
can,
You think
she's
she
gonna
can
be-
pull off Maria.
She's going to be
Yeah.
like a good antagonist to Annalise's
Yes,
character. Nice,
yes.
strong fellow black woman. They're going to go head to head.
Yeah.
I'm excited
Yeah.
for some showdowns between them, I think.
Yeah, no, I think they can go toe to
She's
toe.
definitely strong, it seems like. She can deal with Annalise's
Yeah, and
personality.
it's interesting to see someone that is like a boss to Annalise because
Right.
she kind of plays that matriarch kingpin.
She's the boss of
character.
everyone. No one's
Yeah.
the boss of her.
So yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting dynamic. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see how that gets handled.
I like how she immediately had like a follow-up to it though. Like she always has an answer for everything. When I think like, oh, there's never a way you're gonna get out of this. Where they're trying to cancel her class, and she's like, well, let me do this pro bono clinic
image
and pick the kids.
Right.
Yeah, she always has a trick up her sleeve. I don't know like what it is.
Quick,
She does
too.
like a massive amount of yoga or meditation. She's got it down. Like
I think it's the
stress
vodka. I think it's
is
the
not
vodka.
a thing.
Yeah.
Vodka does help.
And, like,
But now she's sick of vodka. She wants tequila.
She may have switched to tequila.
I don't know about that decision.
Hopefully Worrell brought back the good stuff from
Right.
Mexico.
True.
like the worms in the bottom.
Yes,
Is that-
exactly. Gotta save the
Yes,
worm.
right.
What are you gonna do?
That's how you know it's real.
Exactly. So yeah, we got a few along the new cast thing. We got a new student, one in particular. There's more in the class. Drake, who seems kind of like a villain. I wonder like how big of a role he will be if he's just in this episode to be that kind of new douche we
Yeah.
all like to hate.
He's a dick for sure. I think we'll
He's
probably
a know-it-all.
a know-it-all.
Yeah. Show off.
Douche,
Just showboating.
I think he's jealous, obviously, of the Keating Five.
Right.
Clearly, like he has some agenda against them. Like he starts off, the first thing he says to them is just like, "Why are you guys in this class? You don't belong here." Blah 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 blah.
Right.
So clearly, he's
very entitled.
very entitled, intense. I'm looking forward to see some showdowns between him and Doucheface. They should like go back and forth. Asher,
feel like-
I'm
Yeah.
referring to.
I feel like we could see him in like random class things, or he could end up becoming a part of like something that he's not meant to
Right.
be in or not supposed to be in. But just because I feel like they wouldn't have given him as much airtime
Right.
if we
Definitely.
weren't gonna,
If we're gonna
keep
see him
seeing
again.
him.
Well, yeah, I think even though he is someone that you're supposed to hate, or the show is leading us that way right now.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that they're breaking up the tension a little bit
Mm-hmm.
with something like a curveball every now and again, because it can. I mean, because we're dealing with murder and people like that are
heavy.
going down this road. It's a
Yeah.
very monotone, depressing circle, I
Right.
guess. So it's nice to kind of shift that around and have some
Fun moments.
yeah, some
Yeah.
fun rivalry, some
Right.
class banter.
Because we got that with them last season and in the first season, but now it's a lot more serious because
Right.
they don't just have one murder on their hands; they have like multiple murders, and everyone's like girlfriends have been killed and their boyfriends are missing,
Right.
and well, I wouldn't say Frank is missing, but they
We
don't
found
have
him.
like the jokey moments that they used to have
Right.
before. Even though, I mean, I guess Asher and Michaela are having
Still.
their own special kind of moment.
So random.
Again, I thought that
So
I was
many
like,
random moments.
last season it's
You
just
thought
gonna
it
be a
was
one
just
and
a
done.
fling?
But no.
He didn't quit it.
Totally,
but,
yeah.
no,
Yeah.
she kept coming
He
back.
brought her back to the dorm room.
All about the
I
swirl.
guess he's like he's like a dorm manager now, like
Like an RA?
yeah.
or
I guess
something
he
like
is
that?
like an RA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but why? Okay, so when his dad he committed suicide, Asher thinks
We're
he was
still not
murdered.
sure,
Yeah,
right.
but did he not get like any sort of inheritance, or is his mom just keeping it from him because his mom is so pissed?
Probably
it's the
that.
latter.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
that sounds right. I didn't binge the season. Again, like
Well,
some of
I
us.
remember all of
April.
these details
Yeah.
now.
But you would
Well,
think he would
that's-
have an
yeah.
inheritance, you would think.
You'd
Yeah.
think
Right.
he would have had like some type of trust to not.
It seems like that would
go
be a
completely
hard
broke.
thing to keep from someone, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, we don't know the extent to how big of dicks his parents are. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be really uncool and not sharing any of that.
Well, I mean, his mother blames him for his
Yeah.
father killing
Really
himself.
bad
so that's
relationship.
pretty
Really
intense
bad
to say to your
relationship.
son. So
Yeah.
I think
But
you can tell she's a dick.
Yeah.
also.
Oh no, I'm sorry. He also has like he's typical Asher in way over his head. Like he has the girls coming and knocking on his door while he's with Michaela. Like he didn't text me back. What should I do? So you know.
Yeah, since when did Asher become the
Become the
ladies' man of the show?
authority.
He's got like he was literally surrounded by 3 chicks.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, part
Well, I
of
think
it
he
was
would
his
be-
job, but still.
He would be like the fun RA, I feel like. They
Yeah,
all, like,
exactly.
come
How did
to
he
his-
become this cool
Because
RA?
He's like older than them, I
Yeah.
feel like, and he like has wisdom to impart, and he's like, oh,
Wisdom.
knocking on their
Yeah.
wisdom.
Asher,
I use that term
Asher the
loosely.
Wise is like the last thing I was thinking
No.
watching season 1. I was like,
They
this
probably
guy.
just relate to him and
Yeah.
feel comfortable.
He's come a
coming to
long
him.
way.
I'm sure
Yeah.
they just think he's funny. Like
Right.
every single comment has like a shimmy with it or something like that. So I'm sure they probably are just like, sure, what?
What do I do?
But what's gonna happen when Bonnie finds out about Michaela? Probably
Man, not
nothing,
good, yeah.
actually.
She
Well,
broke
yeah,
up with him,
yeah,
right?
she broke up
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Bonnie is a whole thing. I mean, she didn't have a lot of speaking lines, but she was sort of in and out of scenes. Classic, like very, very
Classic Bonnie.
sneaky.
Classic.
Very,
yeah.
like-
very mousy.
Yeah, very,
Very
sneaky.
like
Scaring
the,
about-
the
just
glances.
yeah, lurking in the background. I
Yeah.
feel like she's
That's her role.
Yeah. I mean, she's always been that mysterious character. I wonder how much more of that we're gonna see this season.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot. Like tonight, she always asks that question that everyone's like, don't ask that. Like when she's
Bonnie.
like, is he dead? Talking about Frank. She's like, I would
Yeah.
understand. And I'm like, oh,
Crying.
Bonnie, you're just being Bonnie. I
Just
don't even
being
know.
Bon.
Yeah, I mean, she's always had a rivalry with Frank, so I think long term that's gonna come around in some way.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see if it's this season.
Do you think he's gonna be welcomed back into the fold,
Frank?
Or should we say this for?
Oh
like,
man,
predictions?
I think there's enough damage that's been done that
I mean, they all do major
it's
damage
not
to
coming
each
back.
other.
True. We've come back
So,
from
lot.
some pretty extreme depths.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't get why. I mean, okay, so we know that Annalise knows Frank was the mole. We ended last season with him leaving because Laurel told him she told Annalise about him killing Lila.
Right.
But I don't know. I guess I just don't get why, after all they've done, like, why is he just going kind of like on the
So
lamb?
easily, just like, all right, I'm out of here. You would think they have a stronger connection.
Well, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, Frank also knows that he killed Annalise's baby.
Right.
So
But he doesn't know that Annalise knows
right.
that yet.
Well, yeah, I don't think she does.
She
What?
knows that
Yeah.
he killed Lila.
Yeah, he knows. She knows. Yes.
But
Frank's done many bad
But
things.
he doesn't know that
That
she
she
knows
knows.
Right.
that he's the
He
reason
knows.
that he got into that
Yes.
wreck.
Right. And she,
Or
I
she
mean,
got into a wreck, I'm
already
sorry.
borderline wants to kill him because of just the Lila thing. As soon
Yeah.
as she finds out about the baby thing, like, she will hunt him down by herself and, like, skin him alive.
And she's also like worried about what connection Frank has to Sam because she knows Sam told him to do it. So she's like, why would Frank do this for Sam? What does he have
Well,
over
now
his head?
she knows.
Does she know?
Well, now she knows that he was a mole, and she doesn't know that. I mean, she doesn't know directly, oh, Sam told me to kill Lila,
Right,
but
right.
it's only, I mean, we know it can only be Rebecca or Sam.
Okay.
If he, like, Frank would have no other reason. So it's, I
Alright.
think she can, like, kind
Yeah,
of
I think she can
Yeah. She's a
piece
smart lady.
that together.
Okay.
I mean, this is not her first murder
Yeah.
to work out.
Clearly.
She's
So-
over Sam, though. I don't even think she cares about that. I
Yeah.
just think it's like knowing that, oh, you did this for Sam. Y'all, now she knows he lied to her for years and years and years, meaning Sam. Like, he knew this secret that Frank was, I mean, not the reason, but kind of the reason. But I've been spending, like, this since the last season ended, the whole time I was like, Frank, oh my gosh, that's so terrible. And now that I've had some time to reflect and think
Process.
about it,
Yes.
I almost feel bad for Frank in a sense because
Really?
I don't, okay, that's, feeling bad for him is a strong emotion, but I mean, like, the lady, like we see in the preview for the season where he's like, you don't understand, I had to do it. Like, I feel like if he hadn't have done what that lady asked him, like to place the speaker in her
Her hotel
room,
room, yeah.
like, would they not have done something to him? But then,
I think
I don't
the
know.
way-
Then he went the wrong way
Yeah.
to make it up to her by killing Mahoney. So I don't know.
That's a lot.
I'm just jumbled with
Yeah,
my
I mean-
emotions
Yeah.
regarding Frank right now. I can't help
It's
it.
like,
It is an
Right.
emotional roller coaster. I
Yes.
will give you
Yeah.
that, April. But I mean, Frank's been a favored character for me. Like, he's just is a boss in
He's
a
a
lot of
boss.
respects. But at the same time, his morality is very skewed.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see sort of that come back at him. Like, obviously, this show itself plays with the whole, like, greater good idea, like, to the max. I mean, everything they do and, like, decide is bad for someone.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see people's past, like, really surface and, like, how they deal with it in a major way. Obviously, Frank's got a lot of skeletons in his closet. They're all sort of climbing out at the same time. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be messy for
Yeah.
him.
I love tonight seeing all of kind of like their backgrounds or how they handle things when it came to the summer. Like, you have Michaela, who's just getting drunk every night.
Right.
poor thing.
Laurel went home, but none of them spoke. So I think it was kind of a good thing for them
They needed a
to
break.
get away from
Some
one another.
space, yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
and Annalise had been reaching out to all of them. Like, we see her go and visit.
Connor.
Well, she visits everyone, I guess. Well, she visits Michaela when she's getting arrested or
Right.
about to be arrested. But I don't know. I liked seeing how they were. At least they showed us like how they were handling it.
She made a comment to Michaela about her running away from her bad family. Has that been addressed in past seasons?
Ish.
Sort of. I mean, they've touched upon it in like small ways. You know, I remember when she was dealing with her engagement and like talking to her fiance's mom,
she's like,
and like she had a whole thing about like, you know, where she the dark past that she got out of.
Yeah.
So, but they haven't really gone into it.
More of that this season.
Yeah,
it feels
definitely.
like
I mean,
she's got some emotional baggage she's got to let go of.
Yeah,
clearly.
I mean her
Laurel?
backstory. No, Michaela actually.
Oh,
Michaela.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen Laurel's family, who's apparently not allowed back in Mexico,
like a gangster or
which
something?
seems
Like
very
kingpin.
difficult to do. I don't know how
Yeah.
you get banned from Mexico. That's extreme. Like he must have
The
done
U.S.
some
is one
bad
thing, but Mexico.
stuff.
Well, we know
Just
he's
wow.
like killed a ton of people. Because
Right,
whenever
but I mean, still impressive. I feel like Mexico, you just bribe the right people. I mean, not.
That's
I'm not saying they've like
Good
Whoa,
point.
Mexico.
murderers come,
say that.
join us, Mexico.
You'll be fine.
Murderer friendly.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that aggressive, but
Yeah.
it's no secret that
I
it's
mean, if
more
you have
like
the right amount of
guidelines
money
down there.
Yeah, if you have the right amount of money and can, send it to someone in a high place.
Right.
But I don't know. Obviously,
I'm gonna
she.
leave that one alone.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, Mexico, don't come find me. No offense.
Mexico
I said with
watching
all
right
due
now.
respect.
All due respect.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about Connor there. His relationship with Oliver is really interesting. I mean, he tried to protect him, and then it went to this really interesting place of forgiveness and then breaking up. I mean, how did you guys feel about that scene?
I'm not
thrown
gonna lie.
off.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Or I was like, why is this happening right now? Everyone in chat is kind of saying the same thing. They're like, this is, that was a random
He ain't
part.
loyal.
Right.
Like,
That's what someone said.
why did they have to break up? It just seemed like, okay, he's forgiving you. That's a little weird for him not to react angrily to when he found out that you deleted his Stanford
I
acceptance.
thought that was mature though. Like he told
Right.
him his thought process. He's like,
Yeah.
I know why you had to do this because you felt like I wasn't listening to you. So like he had time to reflect and think on it. So
Yeah.
he came at it with like a calm, mature approach. I thought.
But it's a little weird.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'd be
no.
upset.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, very
you expect
weird.
someone
not...
to like, even if he did make up, like, okay, I'm gonna be okay. There's, it's like still ask more questions. Like, what are
Right.
you gonna tell me? Da 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 da. And then Oliver
You
like
lied.
twisted into
Yeah.
this weird breakup, and I'm like, why? What?
You love me too much. I didn't quite catch it. It was super random.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was so off.
Out of nowhere.
I feel like that it almost was like they weren't even speaking to each other. Like,
Yeah.
it struck me like it was so how they shouldn't have handled it.
Yeah.
That it really wasn't like they were handling it at all.
Like you deleted his acceptance letter because you wanted to be with him, but then you break up with him.
Right, but I mean, like I feel like they were both
So-
not saying what they meant. Like by Connor forgiving him, he was sort of, even though he said those words, he meant like I can never trust you again. Because it's like that is the reality.
Right.
If you got into a place you were trying to transfer to like aggressively,
Yeah.
and you found out that you not only did do that, but like the person you trusted took that
Took that
away
from you,
and didn't tell you.
Yeah.
Like
This
is
Noah
messed
Reisner
up.
in chat said Connor was staying in that relationship just to help himself, and Oliver was clearly not having it. We even saw it last season, but I will admit it was rushed. I think Oliver is finally respecting himself and realizes how unhealthy their relationship has become. That's a good point
Yeah,
because
true,
I kind
actually.
Very
of
good point.
forget
The
that
unhealthy,
Connor
yeah.
is. I mean, I definitely believe he loves Oliver at this point, but I
Right.
do for sure think he's with him a bit because Oliver helps like keep
Redeem
him
his
calm
qualities.
and
Grounded, yeah.
makes him a little better.
Feels like a good person.
Right, but it's like whenever Oliver was interviewing with Annalise, whenever he's like, I've done some bad things. And I'm like, that's
Right.
what you've done? You deleted the acceptance
You ain't
letter?
kill
like,
nobody,
rookie.
bruh.
Well, yeah, he also hacked into some places.
Right. I mean, he's done some not great
yeah.
stuff. But how Annalise thought it kind of took it almost as a threat as far as like,
Right.
oh, he could hack into my stuff. I thought that was not correct. But I don't know. I just thought it was weird. Everyone else thinks it's weird.
random, right?
That it's weird too. That he broke up with
They'll
her.
get back
Yeah.
together.
Well,
They'll
yeah,
get back
we'll see. I
together.
mean, this might not be the end of Oliver as
Yeah.
we know him. At the same time, I think that Connor was so hesitant to bring Oliver in. It's like he doesn't trust him to be on that same level of awareness of what they're doing. So
I don't
either
think
Well, it's not the end of Oliver because he's working for Annalise now, right?
Yeah.
So they'll be
Yeah.
in the same proximity, but not together. So it'll be some awkward tension, I feel
Yeah,
like, between
definitely.
Oliver and Connor.
Probably the classic on again, off again relationship.
Yeah.
But such is life.
When Oliver said, he's like, I'm not the same person that I was before. He was saying that because he's done these bad things now.
Right.
And I just feel like it's a little bit of a stretch for his character to feel so like, oh, I've done
Some messed up
some
stuff.
bad things, so like I need to figure myself out.
Right.
But I guess I'm basing that off of what everyone else has
Right,
done.
exactly.
So
Compared to murderers.
that's
he's
not
like,
normal.
Yeah,
I guess.
exactly.
Right.
It's all in retrospect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's also interesting is that Oliver's morality is much different now than before he met Connor and like went down this whole rabbit hole. Like I think that might be affecting his outlook on life. Like I mean, if he knows that like he might not be around forever. I mean, obviously you can live for a very long time if you're just HIV or with HIV.
Right.
But that's a whole new mindset of how fragile life is, and like maybe he wanted to do everything he could to be with Connor. Obviously pushing him away is
It's an interesting approach.
an interesting approach. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean you never know, love makes people do weird
Crazy
stuff.
things.
That's
Yeah.
true. I'm
I always
reading.
find it.
I'm reading these comments in chat. Sorry.
No,
I'm not paying
anything
attention.
good?
These are
Anything
Yeah, I'm
y'all
looking
are
at-
like going at it. I
I'm
love
looking
it.
at
Fire
Twitter
away.
also. You guys are saying some hilarious things.
Nice. Well, let's talk about if any like strike your fancy, please.
Oh, from
bring them
Twitter?
up. Just jump right in.
Oh, well, let's see. Flix LS says, whenever the green filter comes across screen, is about to go down.
True.
That
story.
cinematography, whenever
Yeah.
they do that weird effect, like someone's just getting murdered, someone's about to die.
Yeah.
So the green filter is definitely a clue.
Yeah, green
you might-
hashtag green filter.
Hashtag green filter.
People are gonna die.
Last thing on Oliver and Connor for now. It's all about me says Oliver isn't that innocent. Dude hacks into stuff all the time for them, no questions asked. I think that's G enough. I like that.
pretty
And
G.
he
Fair enough.
stated that he loves the excitement he gets from the Keating squad. LOL. So it seemed, and then someone commented, let me find it in just
Yeah,
a sec. They said
Oliver's
that Oliver might be
VG.
like an adrenaline junkie. I lost it. I'm sorry.
I think Oliver's just
yeah.
like ride or die for Connor, or he was. That's
Yeah,
why he
he
just has no
was.
questions. He's like, whatever needs to be done, I'll do it because this is my man. So,
Yeah.
ride or die. Go
Also,
That's
you're a
why-
hacker,
yeah.
so what else are you going to
Yeah.
do?
Use your skill
exactly.
sets.
I mean, you already committed a bunch of crimes. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Go
we're-
down the rabbit hole.
yeah, it's interesting because they're sort of also the only people that could protect him should things get out of hand. Like, good thing he knows a lawyer.
Exactly.
Very
right?
close.
A very good lawyer.
Yeah, very good. Did we talk about Worrell and Wes yet? Like
Yeah.
together though? That's weird. I mean,
What's weird about it?
like it's like they both like each other, but now Wes is dating this like Maggie chick
Yeah.
from like out of nowhere, and I mean obviously Frank, killed his
big-
dad.
Yeah.
So there's
So they think.
bit of unresolved issues there.
Are you guys
Yeah,
going, are
allegedly,
you going along with that?
allegedly.
Frank was a killer of his. Is
Um,
that what you're rocking with right now? You think
I
Frank did it?
mean,
I kind of am.
Yeah.
obviously that's what they want us to think. Whether that's truly the case, I'm believing that right now because I don't have anything else.
I feel like that's just
Yeah.
too easy. It's
It
never.
is very-
it's
yeah,
never that
it's pretty
simple
easy.
with the murders.
The reason why I think it is because I don't think that's gonna be
A storyline.
the murder that
Right.
this
Gotcha.
season focuses on. I
Yeah,
think
I
what's
mean-
gonna be the focus is who's in the gurney,
Okay.
who
Yeah. That's
a fair
burned
point.
in Annalise's house.
That's a fair
so
point.
I think that it's just the fact that Frank's car was gone after Mahoney got shot,
Mm-hmm.
and Wes looked for him and he wasn't there. Like, why would he
Get
drive
that.
away if he was there to help Wes? And then there's a lot
That's
of
true.
there's a lot of reasons. Like he did it, to make things up to Annalise because that's the only way he knows how to make things up is to like take out some person who hurt her so much. So I completely agree with it's very easy to think it's Frank, but the reason why I do the most is because I don't think that's what the focus is going to be on.
That's fair. You
Right.
probably did it then.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a very convincing argument. So
Yeah,
Thank
nice
you.
job, April. You
There's a
convinced me.
I learned a lot
lot.
from the
Yeah,
show.
there's a lot going on this season already, just so far. That I think you're right. I don't know if they need to have it be like a loose end or for a while, like
Yeah.
with just that murder, because there's so much more story. I mean, Wes just like figuring out who his dad was and kind of going down that road without obviously the ability to ask for those answers is interesting.
Right.
There's a funny tweet. It's kind of inappropriate though. From Brian. We like inappropriate here. Is that
Yeah.
okay? From Brian McLight, who about Oliver and Connor. He says, "What? I stayed with you through AIDS and you leave me. You're gonna catch these hands. You're gonna catch these hands like you caught that virus."
Oh, shots
That
fired.
is intense.
He is
Wow.
mad
He
at
is
all.
mad, bro. I mean, that's pretty true.
Whoa.
He stayed
Guns
with you through
blazing.
AIDS,
All
man.
right.
That's
Yeah.
pretty serious. But anyways,
Yeah, no, totally.
keep the
I
tweets
mean,
coming, guys. They're hilarious.
seriously.
You guys are hilarious.
Fire away. No, that's yeah, speaking of fire, this burner phone that Annalise has in her like jewelry box.
Yeah.
Texting T9 texting, mind you. Real old school. Who like I mean, is that guy still alive, do you think? I mean, he just seemed like your average PI to find
Yeah.
Oh
someone.
no, he's dead.
Pretty sure Frank killed
Yeah,
him.
Yeah.
Frank definitely
right?
killed him.
Yeah. I
For
mean,
sure.
he had to.
I would not put it past Frank.
He's
I
no.
mean, he's
Well, I think you saw in the preview a body next to Frank while he was on the phone talking
Yeah,
to
and he
Annalise.
had all
He was
that.
like,
yeah,
Right.
his
Right.
face did not look good
They
No.
had,
in
a,
the
they had a
coming
brawl.
up on.
They had
yeah.
a brawl. The PI put up a fight, but I think he lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, I think we saw him like take the knife to the dude's neck.
Mm-hmm.
If they fought after that, I mean, there's no real other way for it to end, and like unless
the guy-
someone's dead. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, according to like what he said to Annalise, he's like, "It's
Yeah, what do
go
you wanna
time.
do?
I need
Yeah.
to know." So
Yeah, I
I mean,
definitely
if
think
Frank,
he
if
was
he was there
also
to kill
hitman.
Frank,
Right.
Frank is not gonna let him get away. I mean, because he could just continue coming
Right.
after him.
Well, Annalise
Two
obviously.
hitmen in one motel room cannot
Yeah.
stand.
No, not a good idea. But the whole time I thought it was Eve.
Really?
That she was texting. I thought she was
Oh,
doing like
Eve.
some kind of research
Okay.
for someone or for Annalise, obviously. But I just wasn't expecting it to be
A hitman.
A new
Yeah.
hitman.
a new hitman, like a
Well-
definite hitman too.
I thought Annalise was also debating whether or not she wanted him to bring him back, maybe, or
Yeah.
not to kill him, because she was struggling with that decision, obviously. So I don't think she was going to pull the trigger,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Well, it's like she said to Bonnie, she's like, "I'm not a killer," and
Right.
when it's just so funny to me looking back on all the murders on this show, she's the only person who is truly like innocent of murder. Like I mean, obviously not every single person has hit someone in the head
Right.
and shot a gun, but
Let's see,
she's
Michaela, Wes, Bonnie.
she's covering up for every single person. Now she's covering up for them because it helps her to cover up for them as well. But I mean, I don't think she is. She's not like a cold blood killer.
I mean, that's what she tells Connor, who's still tripping for some reason. Like, what did she say last season? Like, I'm just cleaning up your mess. But
Yeah.
Connor thinks of her as a devil, even though she's doing this for him. So she is the only one that has her hands semi-clean, I
Yeah.
guess, to your
Well,
point.
It's because they think of her in such a bad way because she just, you know, without a thought about it, takes other people down in order to help herself. But the semi-redeeming part about that is that she does it a lot of times with a plan to get
Right.
them out of that. Like the
Exactly.
whole thing with Nate. I mean,
It's pretty shitty what she did, but
his wife was in the hospital dying of cancer, and maybe she could have gone a different route. But I mean, that's why they all hate her, or that's why they have these terrible feelings toward her, because she turns into this like cold person, and it's just like, okay, we're gonna do this. And they hate her because she brings every person in to one person's thing. When Asher ran over the DA last season, it wasn't just him. It was everybody. But she also didn't want it to be that way. They just happened to come in.
Right.
And then Asher walked in and said he had ran her over. So
cold-blooded, man.
I don't know. But they're all mad at
I
her.
think they
'cause
need to
no
get
one
over
talked to
it.
her over the whole summer. So
They're very
Yeah.
they're very in their feelings, very sensitive towards Annalise. Like, she's a boss. She's kept you out of jail. Like, get over yourselves.
Yeah.
Pretty much is my opinion on it. But they're sensitive college students, so
they
what
need
are
to
you gonna do?
appreciate.
Or
Yeah, no, I mean,
students.
Annalise has absolutely been like the mom for all
Yeah,
these
she's taking care
very
of y'all.
broken kids. I mean, obviously she's not completely innocent, but she keeps them together. I mean, they
Right.
would probably all be dead, I feel like, or in jail, or
Yeah.
worse, or probably dead in jail.
Probably
But yeah, I
so.
mean, she I feel like really does care about them in a genuine way, knowing sort of what they have each other's back. I think
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, even though the kids will be kids and kind of throw that in, their parents' face,
Right.
at the end of the day, they'll I feel like, do the right thing by her.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't know about Connor. He's
Connor's on the edge,
he's
but
on the
I mean,
edge right
now that he and Oliver are broken up, I guess I don't know. It's an interesting situation to see them both work together and not be
That should be
together.
fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Drama.
I feel like now that I'm thinking more about it, I feel like they did that because it's like you can't have everyone together at the same time.
Right.
So with Michaela and Asher, and then Wes and Laurel have their little attraction, will they, won't they type thing.
Yeah.
That's everyone in chat is talking about how it's like, no, they're just supposed to be friends, not together. But I don't know, it's like they have a different type of chemistry. Like it's not one, normally in a show like this, you can tell if the writers are trying to like purposely make it be like, okay, let me look at you lovingly,
like
but
a
we
short-term
can't be
thing,
together. Or if it's like, could just be a good, genuine, real friendship.
Right.
I lean, I don't know, I kind of go back and forth because I liked how like Wes was so into Rebecca, even though, she was crazy. But I think, I don't know, I just don't see him and Laurel together ultimately. I liked like whenever she was still with Frank, but they were, you know, they went on their trip to figure out stuff about his mom.
Yeah.
And I think
It's a nice
of them
little
more as
duo.
friends.
Yeah, I like them as friends too. Actually, I like that chemistry.
Yeah.
But we'll see what the writers do. I guess.
Yeah.
But they kind of muddle the chemistry. They don't make it obvious either way.
Totally. Yeah. No, that's a really good point because I think they do that across the board. Like there's so many pairings and matches where they are really great together in a lot of ways, but there's so many other ways that it's like this will never work. I mean, obviously Oliver and Connor we talked about, even Asher and Michaela. It's like, you know, she looked at his like study notes and stole an idea from him. So there's so much backstabbing. Even, you know, Worrell and Wes, obviously he sees his dad's alleged killer like every time he looks at her. So yeah, I mean, there's so many reasons why no one's gonna end up in like a white picket fence scenario at the end of this. I mean, even Annalise and Nate, thank you. Their relationship, although it seems like repaired now, is built on a very shaky foundation.
Yeah.
Like, bring one of those bad things back up, and we're back to square one.
Although I feel like they've come clean. I think they pretty much.
Yeah, they cleared the air for the most part,
Right.
but you never. I mean, I feel like if push comes to shove, and Annalise has to choose between like the Keating Five and Nate, she's gonna choose them. Honestly.
Oh, always.
Definitely.
And I love Nate's character because he's so like sweet to her, but he's always gonna be that sweet person who is like I don't want to say disposable, but he's like disposable to her, kind of.
Yeah.
Or I mean, it really is. Like she'll choose protecting other people over him. I feel like every time.
Well, she already showed us that last season, I guess, when she kind of threw him under the bus, but used him as a pawn. So yeah. I think Eve is her true love, anyways. So I hope she comes back.
I love Eve.
Famke.
Lest we forget, she also has lesbian tendencies.
Yes.
Don't we
True
all?
that.
For Eve, at least. I mean, Famke Janssen. I mean, who can blame her? She's very attractive.
Yes.
So. But yeah, I mean, let's talk a little bit about. I mean, we predict all day with this show.
Yeah.
Before we get into news and gossip, I guess let's talk about who we think is in that gurney.
Okay.
I have many guesses.
Many guesses.
But I think I kind of narrowed it down to 3. I'm going to go, because I think it's going to be one of those characters that we will all be very sad to see that it was, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think it could be Oliver or Nate. Or I had someone else in my mind and now I forgot, so it must not be them.
Or Nate?
I think it's gonna be Oliver or Nate,
Okay.
or Bonnie. Bonnie would be, because Bonnie is a huge character.
Interesting.
But the reason I think I'm more so leaning to Oliver, although I would hate to lose his character on the show because I love him as a character. But
He can go.
I think that it's like they're already, but then no, because they're already setting it up. They're already setting it up to me to make it seem like it's Oliver. Like, oh, now he works there, and now he's going to be there doing these odd hours.
So
and,
it could be too
and now
easy.
Now they broke up, so it won't be that devastating.
Right.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think, and Bonnie's a good guess to me because she's always there. A lot of people in chat thought.
Or what, saying Bonnie?
Thought Bonnie. Laura says Bonnie, Eve, or Nate. Price Right says Hope
Eve.
it's Wes.
Whoa.
Hope is
Oh my
Wes.
gosh.
What? I thought
Whoa.
Wes was everybody's favorite. No?
He's definitely not my favorite, but I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. That would be a zinger for sure.
Joe Loco 386 says, "What if it's Annalise's mother?"
Ooh,
Nah,
could be. I mean,
think that's
Curve.
emotionally devastating enough to the audience.
Yeah, I mean, we saw
Yeah.
like she was in shreds after this. Like she was not handling well.
I feel like if it was her
And-
mom, she'd be like, "Oh."
Yeah,
Not
just-
like she was
just-
though.
She would just be like, "Oh."
Mom can't get no love.
Mom,
Well, I
no
guess
love at all.
they've made up slightly,
Well-
but yeah, no, I think she cares about again the Keating Five probably the most. So that I mean, I feel like one of them or someone very close to that circle would have to be because she was devastated.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's either Wes, Michaela, or Nate, and not just
Michaela or
because
Nate.
they're the only other black characters, but obviously
Always the first to go.
Yeah, always.
I'm just kidding.
because I mean obviously
Well,
she
they're not
has
the
that-
first, but you know,
that
good guesses.
connection with Wes, like a mother-son type of relationship, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think I see her and Michaela bonding somewhat more this season, just from what we saw in tonight's episode, picking her up from her DUI, her backstory that she's well aware of, and just trying to take care of her.
Yeah.
She's, I think, sort of a mother to Wes and Michaela more so than the other Keating Five.
Yeah.
And Nate, obviously, is her lover, so I think it's one of those three.
He could have just been there. He could have just been at her house waiting
Right.
for her, and
The hot bath,
Yeah.
wedding.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, Michaela's a really strong character that that Annalise doesn't really coddle as much because of that. I mean, she kind of mentioned that when she was picking her up from that DUI situation. So yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. She obviously bulldozed her way into the case and got it solved, which is
Yeah.
cool. Interesting choice. I think she would be savvy enough to escape getting killed.
Who, Michaela?
Michaela.
Yeah, okay.
I'm thinking.
I mean, how savvy, I mean...
fire.
Right, if someone like shoots you, like how
True.
savvy is, I mean, whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
there's ways to
There's ways to
outsmart
outsmart
bullets.
a bullet.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
I got you.
I think it's gonna be Oliver because he's got the HIV thing. Not that that's gonna like aggressively take control of his
Yeah.
life, but I think
Oh, man.
because when you have an illness like that, I'm speaking from experience, not at all. I feel like that would make a character be more rash. I mean, we've already see him kind of blackmail his way into a job.
Yeah.
Maybe that makes him in a violent jam, like go for someone's gun or something. Take a bullet for someone. Maybe it's intended for Connor or something. Maybe Philip comes back and he
Murks him.
tries to kill people, or maybe Frank tries to stab someone and he saves the day. I feel like Oliver, he's got such a good heart that I feel like he's got to die like a hero's
I
death.
just don't think the way Annalise reacted, I don't think
Right.
she's that emotionally invested in Oliver for her to break down like that.
So I was thinking that at
Yeah.
first, but then I just started thinking. Think of the conversation that she had with Connor, where she's like,
we'll
I don't
protect
want
him,
him to
yeah.
be like us, or I don't want him to be a part of this. So it's almost like he is that innocent that they added in just because they kind of had to,
Right.
and because it would literally be her fault that
Right.
he was there. I mean, not at that
Right.
moment in time, of course,
Right.
but like she's the one who hired him
Okay.
because she didn't
I can
want.
deal with
Right.
that. It'd
Yeah.
be more of like a
Yeah.
guilt-ridden.
Right.
okay.
Like, oh my gosh, I did this.
Right,
But
okay.
it's too easy.
It is too
But
easy.
like that, I feel like they're making us want to
Yeah.
think
Right.
that. So I
Or are we just that savvy to have
Oh.
solved the
You guys are
case
just-
already?
I always think I am, and then I never am.
Did you guess it
True,
last season?
true story.
Did you guess
No,
who
I
shot
never
her?
thought Caleb did.
I've definitely been way off on this show. I mean, again, that's the best part about this show is like we make a million predictions
Yeah.
and maybe like 1%.
I also
come true.
never thought Frank with Lala.
Really?
Yeah, and I for the longest time I was like Sam,
Oh,
and then
no.
toward the end I was like it was definitely Rebecca.
Yeah, I definitely
then-
call Frank season 1. I'm
Oh,
just gonna say,
nice.
yeah,
Good
definitely did.
stuff.
So,
Good stuff.
I mean, I knew he had like killer instincts because
Right.
they're always like, take care of it,
Right.
take care of it, take care of it. But I
Took
never
care of it.
thought of it because like I always thought, what connection would he have had? So that's
Totally.
why I don't know. I was probably like I don't know. It's probably Laurel.
Some random person.
Yeah, she just comes out of the woodwork.
I like Laurel. She's awesome.
Yeah, no one said Worrell. I mean, you didn't say Oliver, so that
I didn't say Oliver.
Omari.
No.
I mean, if you were so good to guess Frank, I might have to revise my
I think it's probably
my prediction. Although, actually, a quote that you pointed out when we were walking into the studio, when Connor was talking to Annalise, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't want him to become the new Asher," like meaning that like he's an innocent that they corrupted into murdering someone. I feel like that's true, and because they've already done that, they would not like we can't bring in like they can't keep corrupting people into their circle and like there. So that's why I think maybe it is Oliver.
That's true.
Again,
because they just have to like sacrifice the lamb.
Right. Like maybe I feel like he would have made a Asher type move, but in his own way, it's actually taking his own life.
Right. Like he did something trying to help someone in some way, and then like blew up the house.
Also, I don't want to bring like a practical viewpoint, but I know like Michaela, the actress that plays her, is like about to be in a few new movies, so I don't know if her career is about to take off.
That's always
like,
an important thing.
Right?
That
I don't know
is,
if I should like bring that up at all. Like I feel like she's about to blow up. The outside influencing the story
are probably the most influential.
That's like not exciting way to guess about it, but that could be.
It's a good point.
Take into
you got to do
consideration.
all of the research.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, do we have any news and gossip for this season, for this episode of the cast?
I don't have any specific.
Are we going to talk about
I like this. Yes, so I have to share this with y'all. My friend Brittany Jackson, you can find her on Instagram at BSJackson5.
Shout out.
Nice.
She randomly went to this little place in Franklin Village. For all of y'all that don't live in LA, of course, it's a little place in Hollywood with cute restaurants and bars. So who just happens to be there, but the entire cast of How to Get Away with Murder. Everyone that you see on the screen right now. We have Oliver, we have Connor, we have Wes, Asher, Laurel, Michaela. They're all there. She walks in.
We don't know their real names.
And their character names, obviously. But
the characters were there, not the real actors.
She ended up talking to them for the longest time. She's like, everyone was so nice that you can tell they're like good friends. They had just finished filming and just all wanted to go get a drink together.
Nice.
And Wes was like, let's take a picture with Brittany. Let's pick her up.
Yeah,
and she's
that's
like,
a killer photo.
She's like, we
awesome.
don't have to do that. And he's like, I know we don't, but we're gonna do it anyway. And she's like, everyone was calling her by name as they were walking out. Oliver's like, bye, Brittany. I'm like, what?
Yeah, just you got on a first name basis with the entire cast.
I'm like, that never happens.
I definitely would have like pumped them with shots to try and get information.
Yeah, just
the season. Just like get them so drunk and then start asking
just turn
questions.
on your like iPhone like recorder.
I wouldn't record them, but I would ask them. And I would just have it for myself.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't want to like expose anybody.
Just walk around proud like you knew all the spoilers.
I know this. Yeah.
But I love with shows knowing that the cast are close because it makes it a better show. So that's why I thought it was so cool, because it's like after spending all this time together filming, they still want to go get a drink together or whatever.
Well,
have some
murdering
dinner.
someone will bond you together.
That's true.
It's
Even
the
though they
greatest
get mad at
together.
each other about it on the show.
Like a family, like you said. Like, kids will be kids. It's family dynamics.
Exactly. Yeah, they definitely have a family dynamic. I mean, they've been through so much together. They continue to go through so much together. And hopefully, I mean, they can be more of a study group because their grades are slipping.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah, very sad. But hopefully they don't get kicked out of school.
Understandable. It's a lot of stress.
Yeah, I feel like how does the university not give them a break? I mean,
well, they don't know that they've been murdering people.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it wasn't just the
like
murder.
There's
They've been in the media a lot for various stuff.
What we forgot to touch on are the posters of Annalise.
Oh, right.
Yes.
That was a big topic at the beginning of
the thread?
of chat. Of who was putting them up. We had a lot of people said that it was
Good
Maggie.
prediction.
Maggie / Maggie.
Yeah.
Some people, I don't know how to say her name. It's either Maggie or Maggie.
Maybe.
It's like Maggie or something.
She's a hugger, though.
Yeah.
You know that.
Someone also said that they were hoping that was just a secret code name and it was actually Laurel. But like they didn't want to tell everyone, but that Maggie was actually Laurel.
On the side.
But a lot of people said Maggie and a lot of people said Oliver. That's the only two people I saw, so
Maggie.
I'm sorry if I missed.
I don't know if it would, I mean, unless Maggie
Maggie
becomes a huge part of the group in the next few episodes. I mean, again, I just go back to how crushed Annalise was. I mean, she does not show emotion ever.
Yeah.
And for her to just like break down in the street like that. it means it's got to be someone close to her.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
But I'm talking like the posters that they put up.
Right,
Like,
yeah, posters.
I mean,
The killer.
Oliver's a good
Oh,
guess.
you think Maggie put up the
flyers.
That's what people were
flyers?
guessing,
Oh, wow.
Maggie or Oliver. But I think
I don't think
that
it's
Definitely
Oliver
not
would.
Oliver.
But Oliver, couldn't he have done it as his way to show? Because she didn't hire him until class had already started. Like, this was a current
the
thing.
timeline gets aggressive.
So couldn't
hopping
he have
around.
done it to be like,
Because
I
he didn't get
can give
hired?
to you? Well, no, like, that's his way of being like, that's another bad thing that I can do because I know
Hold on, I'm
this
so bad.
stuff.
Right.
Right.
Let me print off these
But
pages.
think about it. Who else is gonna... Do you think it could be one of the Keating Five?
No. I mean, because they were all looking at it. I mean, I feel like it, obviously, Philip comes to mind. It could even be Frank, just trying to, like, get her attention or, like, drag her focus off of it.
Yeah.
Because obviously he knows that she's trying to track him down.
Mm-hmm.
He knows about the Lila thing. It's only a matter of time before the baby thing comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's got to, like, just throw smoke bombs left and right.
I'm liking this Maggie theory now, or Maggie, whatever her name is.
But, like,
just
what
because we don't
reason
know
would you
anything
have?
about, we don't know yet. I'm just like,
She's a clean slate. She
Yeah.
could be
She's
a
probably
mastermind.
She's probably like secretly related to Rebecca.
or like
somehow.
Annalise like defended someone who killed one of her parents or something.
Yeah.
Like there's so many possibilities, but
Yeah, I mean the show
don't
goes
know.
deep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't wait. I like literally can't wait to see like what more dirt these people have on their past and how it comes out because it's very ugly but always entertaining.
always.
Of course. I just can't believe we have to go this whole season probably without knowing who's on that gurney.
I know. Well, yeah. I mean, luckily they said they're kind of doing like a reverse elimination countdown, so
Right.
every week we'll find out who's not dead, which is a plus.
That'll help. That's
That will
helpful.
help. So we
Shows
will get
lie all the
some
time, though.
answers. Yeah.
They
Well,
lie, they tell you that you're
right.
good, they're gonna eliminate it, but then they're like, ha, it's actually this person.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just gotcha. Yeah, no, I wouldn't put it past this show to just flat out lie to my face and like
Yeah.
show me someone
Oh,
like not
Shonda.
dead and
Exactly.
be like, oh, that was actually a flashback. Sorry.
Yeah, they are dead.
Surprise! They're actually dead
Everyone's
now.
dead.
They're dead now. They weren't before, but now they are.
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, I can't wait to see the next episode. I can't believe we have to wait a full week, but we've waited like a year, so
Yeah.
I feel like we can do that.
This is why I tend to start shows like a 3/4 of the way through a
Nice.
season. So
The
I can,
binging.
like,
I wish.
so
Yeah, I
can
wish
binge
we
through
could.
them, right?
I wish we could.
I know.
Until next week, where can the fans find you guys?
Y'all can find me everywhere at April Whisenhant. Thank you so much for joining in chat. Y'all had some awesome comments.
And you can find me at On With Omari on Twitter and IG, and please tweet us your feedback, questions. We want to keep interacting with you guys. You're hilarious.
Yes, definitely keep
Yes.
the funny comments coming. Rate and review the show if you guys liked it. Please 5 stars on YouTube. Thumbs up where applicable. You guys can find me, JB, at Hey John Blake, and we'll see you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.